By Trump saying he is considering a plan to serve a third term, by default, means he plans to disregard, or more likely revoke the U.S. Constitution, by sidestepping the intent of the law versus specifically the words used to write it. Trump stated on Sunday that not may, but is attempting to serve a third term by exploring ways to bypass the U.S. Constitution as it pertains to presidential term limits. There are methods which you could do it, Trump bragged in a telephone interview with NBC News. Trump is still out of touch with reality and the fact he lost the election against President Biden that he claimed, "I have had more people ask me to have a third term," which in a way is a fourth term because the other election, the 2020 election, was totally rigged. The 22nd Amendment, added to the Constitution in 1951, after President Franklin D. Roosevelt was elected 4 times. But more so, it was due to the fears of Adolf Hitler and Mussolini's rise in fascism and their dictatorships. The "no person shall be elected to the office of the president more than twice" was written to stop a president from having more than 2 terms, but technically, Trump could step down as president with a letter under the 25th Amendment, with Vance becoming president, then appointing Trump as his running mate as vice president. Then Vance would step down after winning the presidency, with a letter under the 25th Amendment, with Trump being president again. Representative Daniel Goldman, a New York Democrat, who served as lead counsel for Trump's first impeachment, said, "This is yet another escalation in his clear effort to take over the government and dismantle our democracy. If congressional Republicans believe in the Constitution, they will go on the record opposing Trump's ambitions for a third term." Steve Bannon, a former Trump strategist who runs the right-wing War Room podcast, called for Trump to run again during a speech at the Conservative Political Action Conference last month. "We want Trump in 28, he said. Kayla Thompson, a 30-year-old former paralegal in Wisconsin, expressed her support for Trump serving another term. "America needs him. America is headed in the right direction, and if he doesn't do it, we're probably headed backwards," said Thompson, who attended a campaign event Sunday with Elon Musk in Green Bay for a state Supreme Court race. Jeremy Paul, a professor at Boston's Northeastern University, stated, "There are no credible legal arguments for him to run for a third term." But that's not the reality of America, with the Supreme Court being in Trump's back pocket, who was given the office of president full immunity to the actions taken while in office. The 12th Amendment reads, "No person constitutionally ineligible to the office of president shall be eligible to that of vice president of the United States." One may think that if the Trump is not eligible to run for president again due to the 22nd Amendment, but that's not expressly what is written in the 22nd Amendment. In good law, there are no synonyms. Along with every word is expressed, not implied. Just look at the state of North Carolina, where the Republicans in the House successfully passed a measure to restrict the powers of the incoming governor and other Democrats, overriding the veto of outgoing Democratic Governor Roy Cooper. This vote occurred after Republicans lost their supermajority in November's elections, marking their final opportunity to limit the authority of newly elected Democratic leaders before the next legislative session begins in January. Trump suggested that Americans would support a third term due to his popularity, but lacks the ability to understand it directly involves the law and is specifically outlined in the U.S. Constitution to make the issue crystal clear. As Trump is fixated on his popularity, I predict that Trump will bring the American people into a military action in the near future, as per the data had President George H.W. Bush hit 89% following the Gulf War in 1991 and his son, President George W. Bush, reaching a 90% approval rating after the attacks on September 11, 2001. American servicemen's lives will be lost in Greenland, Panama, and possibly even Canada, just so Trump can feel the love from his cult of followers and more so, the most likes on Elon's ex-Twitter feed.